Track Wrestling with Dylan Carew. We're at the Big Game Wrestling Club. You just opened this, and this is a world-class facility that you're going to show us. Before we step inside, take us through the concept, take us through why you wanted to build something so special.
I grew up right here around Iowa City, Iowa, actually in Tiffin, Iowa. Grew up watching the University of Iowa and learning to love wrestling and living in one of the greatest wrestling places in the United States. Had brothers and a dad that wrestled my whole life, and the dream of a club and a complex like this kind of came from when I was a little kid. The first wrestling mat that my dad ever put in the basement of our house, we thought we had the cat by the tail back then, and we've always kind of just wanted to do our own thing and always talked about how cool it would be to have our own wrestling facility someday. And thanks to a lot of great people, especially my dad and Tom Lepic, the Tom Lepic Wrestling Complex is now a thing, and Big Game Wrestling Club is lucky to be running out of here.
Compare this to other facilities and what this provides that other facilities might not.
I think the biggest thing is the size of this room and the facility. We have everything here, I guess. We have our own apparel store with a partnership with Nike. We have sauna, we have locker rooms, training areas. The wrestling room is 3.6.5 mats or something like that, 3.7 mats, a weight room, a full cardio room. And with all that said, what I think would really set us apart than anyone else is that we own the facility ourselves. The club does, which is a unique thing, and we don't turn anybody away. So we do scholarship opportunities through people helping us out, donors, and we fundraise our own money. Therefore, there's no kid that'll ever be left behind in this facility, which is pretty unique, I think, as far as a private club goes.
This is in North Liberty, Iowa, which is just north of Iowa City and then just south of Cedar Rapids. Do you draw on both those areas?
Yeah, we have kids from as far as Eddyville, which is quite a ways away, an hour and a half away, that drive down here. We got some Davenport kids, Cedar Rapids, Dubuque, and then all the surrounding areas here, every little town, and Iowa City especially, right around here.
Let's take a walk in.
Yep. Yeah, so here we got, one of the cool things we got is one of our wrestling dads, JB Barnhouse. They own Country Stonemason here in the North Liberty area, and they made us a nice big stone here with the Tom Lepic Wrestling Complex logo on it. And this is kind of an area where we'll have all of our Nike clothes and whatnot set up over here. We got a lounge and we got TVs to watch wrestling. The other night we had the Iowa State and UNI meets on here, and the TVs and all the kids and parents were watching in here. And then obviously we have some different deer and different animals that we harvested through some of our youth hunts and different things like that in here. This deer here is actually one that my dad killed that we've used as a logo on a lot of our stuff, so that's kind of cool that we get to pay some homage to my dad there.
And then we have Tom Lepic right here. If he doesn't mind coming in, love to talk to him a little bit about what you felt like was the need. You were a primary donor, and this wrestling room is named after you. What was the impetus behind you wanting to be involved in such a great project?
Well, it goes back a long ways with my connection with Dylan. I've admired watching Dylan and the group that he grew up with, wrestling since they're little, and then when they're at West High School, and I got involved with trying to help Dylan and the kids go to different summer wrestling events, helping them financially that way, and just watching them compete. I was the head wrestling coach at Iowa City West from 75 to 86, so watching them come in West and turn that program around and win all the national championships they did, much less high school championships, was amazing. And to see how they affected young kids to follow them. And I knew that when Dylan came to me and asked me if I wanted to be a part of this and if I would be his key donator and make sure it went, I knew what it would do for young kids in this area in Midwest Iowa, and it's going to go a lot further than that, as you can see, Kyle. It's I think this is going to be something people come in all around the country when they're in this area wanting to work out. But Dylan's doing a great job promoting it. He's doing a great job getting it out to parents all over Iowa. The parents, I'm over here a couple times a week, maybe not even that much, but when I do come over, I help come in the practice room and watch him, coach the kids and work with the kids, and I can feel the excitement that the kids have. So, wrestling's been a big part of my life, and I just wanted to give back another way that I could, and nobody better to give back to than Dylan with the club he already had going, and knowing how he was going to affect the youth, and it was. I'm awfully glad I did now. You can see what he's done with it. You can see where it's headed, and for the sport of wrestling, it's going to take it another step in the state of Iowa.
For both you guys, just with a facility like this, you see this lobby, you see this lounge, we're going to see the wrestling room and everything you have. How are you going to allow people to get into this facility? What's the access? How do you make sure you manage this so that people can use it and enjoy it, but also have some rules and stipulations?
We have a key card entry system here at the building that I can actually access from my phone, and it gives me an update. So when someone comes through, I know who's in the building. It's keeping track of that. A lot of our, I guess I would say, more trusted members or longer term members and donors, we give them cards, and guys that, dads and different donors that would be coming and working out at obscure hours, the 5 a.m., that's when the doors unlock, so to speak, but that's when they can start coming through and using the workout area. It's actually locked, the building is, all day long unless you have key access until when we're done with our work hours of our actual business, and then the doors are unlocked when we're back here during the day. But we have a lot of kids and dads that want to come work out on their own and different things like that, so there's never a moment where we're going to turn them away. We actually have, a lot of the high schools in the surrounding areas, they have kids that need different workouts and whatnot, so I'll get a phone call maybe from a random person and say, hey, would it be okay if so-and-so goes and works out in your gym tonight? Yep, and I get on my phone, even if we're at deer camp like this last weekend, and click 2 buttons and the doors unlock and they get to go in, and then it tells me when they go out. So it's pretty unique that way. But we want people to be here all the time. Right now we got our high school kids, I was saying upstairs, they're pretty much here all the time. They come in and make themselves at home, and most of the time we got to run them out of here when we're ready to go home at night. So it's pretty awesome. It's unique to be able to have something where these kids feel like they're at home almost. And I mean, I'd rather be here than my own house most days, and I feel like the kids probably feel like that too. So that means a lot to me, and I know it does to Coach Lepic as well, because it's cliche to say, and I don't really like, it gets used so much in sports now. It's a family thing. To me, it's not maybe not like family, but it's where we're supposed to be, and it's fun to be together, I guess.
And then as we go through this hallway, you got nice facility with a brand new locker room and sauna. Let's take a walk back there and take a look at that.
It's got some kids already coming here from 90, 100 miles away, even on school nights. Wrestling will be over with by 8:30, but they know they're an hour and a half away from home, and just to be a part of it, they're making that trip here because they know there's no other place better for them.
Yeah, that's got to be a good feeling for you guys to know you can service that and be that opportunity for them to be here in a facility that they can handle it.
Yeah. There's a couple boys from Dubuque that come often. Waterloo, Cedar Falls, those kids are finding out about it. It's close for them now on the interstate. It's such a great location for everybody. And hopefully we'll start getting kids from Quad Cities and that area to start knowing about it and coming over and working out also.
We have a big sauna.
This is where all the problems get sweated out, right here. We got a big sauna here. You can fit quite a few people in this bad boy.
What would you say total could fit in here?
I would say probably definitely 20 to 25 grown men could be in here pretty easily, and a bunch of kids if you wanted. I think the other night we had a little sauna off with a handful of us to see who could take it the longest once it gets hot, and I think there was 22 people in here. So the more people, the hotter it gets, but it heats up really quick, and the guys that built it did a phenomenal job. We're really happy with it. It's one of the big key components to keeping your body healthy and feeling good, especially when you're a little bit older after your wrestling career. It feels good.
and you go straight out the sauna, and then down the hallway is locker room, so you can leave right from the sauna. Take a quick left here, and you're right into the
Up here you got the, this is the, would be the men's locker room here. We redid a lot of this, and a lot of it is brand new, built by me and a bunch of my brother and the guys that work here at Carew Landscaping. Here you got a full locker room where all the kids can hang their stuff, and anybody that's coming in to get a workout. This is a pretty awesome space. We got our TV to be modern, I guess, if you will, for the kids. Come in here and they got all kinds of different music playing and whatnot. And then you get back here and we got some showers back here that are obviously useful.
Sure.
Some towels, things like that. Then you walk back out here, back into the main area. You got a door there that goes into our business office with the Carew Landscaping. This is our women's locker room here. Got a little area to set some clothes. Got our bathroom, and then back here there's a shower and towel area. But it's been pretty nice.
And then this leads, so the way we came in is how we get up to the wrestling room. We'll go through there.
We'll go up through there.
As they leave, they'll go right through the lobby again.
Yeah.
How much time have you spent here, Tom?
Like I say, I try to get over here a couple times a week and make sure Dylan's doing a good job, you know. Gotta watch him.
It's your investment.
That's exactly right.
Yeah,
The most fun part about it is just seeing what he's doing with these kids, you know. Everybody knows since you were little, Kyle, wrestling, how tough it is to go to a workout. These kids come here, they are so excited about practice, time for practice to start. And when they're done, they don't want to leave. And it's so much fun to see it.
Yeah, we get the little kids. This is the first year that we're doing a beginners club again. And we got about 45, 4, 5, and 6-year-olds in the club right now on Tuesday nights. And it's it'll be chaos in here in a little bit when they all start running through here in their singlets and whatnot, and they get into the boxing stuff right away and are out here tearing after each other.
So we'll point this out that we could go one of two ways. So we're going left here, and so we'll go right into.
This is our cardio room area. Got some assault bikes here. Got a stair stepper, 4 treadmills, 3 ellipticals, a dip pull-up assist machine, another dip pull-up bar here. You actually have some nice country views out through there. The other side's a little bit better, but you get a look out towards our farm. Our family farm's actually right out over there, so when you're running, you get to think about running to the Carew Ranch. Then we go over here and we got ourselves a weight room. Got four squat racks here. You got your power lift row machine, a bunch of stuff in here, some heavy bags over there, some chairs for the parents, and then we got a bunch of boxing equipment over there. We incorporate quite a bit of boxing, striking, and that kind of stuff to work on footwork and angles and things inside of our wrestling techniques as well. So that's pretty nice to have that stuff handy. And then out here, obviously, we have the wrestling room itself, which is, like I said, downstairs. It features about close to 3.7 mats, Reslite mats here, which give them a little shout out. They're really good to work with. Doug Heathman with Reslite did a heck of a job for us, and we're really, really happy with the product. They're the softest, nicest mats I've ever got to wrestle on, which is pretty nice. And again, taking care of your body and longevity of these kids training in here to get the nicest quality. Everything was our goal from the start. And again, without Coach Lepic's help, that probably isn't going to happen. So we're really fortunate for that.
All right, you got to explain why the orange.
I don't have a great answer for it outside of I actually when we started the club, a buddy of mine was had worked for Big Game Tree Stands and was friends with the owner, and we were like, man, their stuff's really sharp, and we had talked to the owner and asked him, you know what I mean, would it be okay? What do you think of this? You know what I mean? And he was like, man, you guys should do that. That'd be cool. So it kind of just stemmed off of that a little bit. And Todd's a really nice guy, and we were lucky that he didn't have any issue with us, having a club, and it was just kind of fell in our lap. And for me, I think the colors are kind of sharp, so it worked out.
And we got to make sure this is only one side. We can flip around here.
Yeah.
And there's the Tom Lepic room right there. His name is the primary donor of this, and it's a mass expanse here. You go all the way around. Looks like there's 6 different mats here, which I think you said was what, 3.7 full mats?
Yeah, we
is
have
that
9 circles. 9 circles, that is about 3.7 mats. So, I mean, we've had upwards of 60 kids working out in here, and it's nice to have the space, where before when we were in the high schools and different things like that, where at times, 25, 30 kids makes the room feel pretty packed. We average about 45 kids a night right now, and it's pretty comfortable with those numbers, which is awesome. You get a lot of room to work in.
vision for this? You've just started out. What do you want to see happen here in the next 5 years with this facility?
I want to just keep growing, I guess. My goal is when we set out to do this, it was to change lives and change the sport of wrestling and give back for all the opportunities that I was fortunate enough to have through my family and the people around us, like Coach Lepic, and my opportunities at Iowa City West with Mark Ryland. I had a lot of people that did a lot for me, Pablo Basta, that helped, immensely for me to have the vision that I want for this club. I just want to build it and keep giving opportunities. We have a hunting side of things that we do. We take our kids hunting. We're partnered with another nonprofit called Giving Back Outdoors with Jeremy McCarty, Turkey Reapers, and I want to keep giving kids unique opportunities through hunting in the outdoors, fishing, through wrestling, through work opportunities that we can help them learn a trade or learn business with Mr. Lepic and different things like that. The whole goal here is to create better men and prepare them for anything beyond wrestling, and wrestling especially, moving forward.
Tom, you've given so much to this sport. Why does wrestling capture your imagination? Why are you so invested in wrestling?
You look at the people that are involved in it. You see how happy they are. You see how it brings, like Dylan said, family together. You see young men taking steps they wouldn't have taken if they hadn't got involved in the sport like wrestling. You hear guys like Kirk Ferentz talking about the best recruits that he can get on a football team or ex-wrestlers. Anybody that's been associated with the sport of wrestling knows what it does for you the rest of your life, and what it does for you building character, building everything there is that's going to help you in, like Dylan said, in the future in business. Just knowing how to work, because everybody knows that work ethic you need for anything you do. And another thing that I'm excited about this, and Dylan and I talked about it, is to maybe get other clubs from the state of Iowa and have club exchanges and start doing that often during the summer. Have them come over here and stay with us for a weekend. We'll put them up with our parents, have them do the same thing for us going back. And again, I said something downstairs about college, what it will help, what it'll do for colleges, but I look at it as we bring these kids all over from Iowa together when they're young and start training together all the way through high school. We bring them here, we go there. When it comes time for those kids to decide on what college they want to go to, hopefully they're all going to want to stay in the state of Iowa because they're all best friends. They all want to be together. They want to stay together. And hopefully that'll help us not lose any of our best wrestlers to any other places in the country too. So, but the sport of wrestling itself, as well as anybody, you're around it as much as anybody. There is no sport it creates a better person in the sport of wrestling. And it's really exciting now to see the women getting involved. And Westside just announced they've got a girls wrestling team this year. We've got quite a few girls coming up here. It's exciting, it's spreading, and it's just going to get bigger. And thanks to Dylan, this area around here is going to really expand the sport of wrestling.
What a great tour, guys. Unless there's anything else you want to show, this has been awesome. We appreciate this, and thanks for giving us a great tour of this unbelievable facility.
Thank you for
Thank you.
coming.